Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning how it is God's delight or God's pleasure for each and every one to prosper. As a matter of fact, above all things, it is His wish that you prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. Now, the reason why many people need to realize that it is God's pleasure or God's delight in you being prosperous is to show you that God is displeased with you when you are living in poverty, mediocrity, and mental slavery. In other words, when you have the wrong concept of yourself, when you have the wrong concept of who you are. But you have to realize that you cannot separate yourself from God. Because you see, if you separate yourself from God, this message will come across to you in a wrong way. You will perceive it in a way whereby instead of it helping you to expand and grow, you will catch feelings about the things that I am saying, and those feelings would be more hurtful feelings. But I'm encouraging you to be the best version of yourself. I'm encouraging you not to live in displeasure, because there is no virtue in lack. There is no virtue in poverty. But there is rejoicing. There is pleasure. There is delight when one prospers. So when we look at God's creation and we realize that God said it is good, and it was His pleasure, it was His delight to see that everything He spake, it was materialized. It is teaching you that whatever you desire in this world, whatever is your goal, whatever is your dream, when you learn to visualize, when you learn to believe that God in man is man's imagination, and use your imagination to create your reality consciously, when you see your desires have been fulfilled, you come into a place of delight. You come into a place of pleasure. You come into a place of joy and peace and happiness. And though the negative thoughts may have fought you on the way, though the discouraging thoughts may have come your way as the enemy, because your enemy is actually your own self. Okay, your self-doubt, your self-hate, your condemnation, your shame and your guilt. All these things are actually your enemies that will block you and shift you from operating in your higher self. But in Psalms chapter 35 verses 27, it teaches you that it is God's delight or God's pleasure for you to live in prosperity, for you to live in abundance, because it is your natural state of being. It is your birthright. Just look at nature. Nature always brings forth bountifully. Just look at the sea. It always brings forth bountifully. And there's a bountiful life that is right here on display on this planet as a pattern for us to follow. But many people are out of alignment with the rest of nature. That is why Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, was Neville Goddard's mentor. He taught Neville Goddard how to get back in alignment with the Creator by teaching him how to discover his creative self in a time of drought, in a time where there was a Great Depression. Abdullah taught Neville how to live in the delight and pleasure of God by living in his imagination, because God in man is man's imagination. And he taught him that the central character of the Bible is man's imagination. Therefore, if you want to experience God as Neville did, where he made his trip to Barbados, having no work and having no money, and he would have gone there on a first class ticket, you would have to learn to change your philosophy, and you have to start to look inwardly instead of looking outwardly. But most importantly, you have to come to the realization that God in man is man's imagination, and that true salvation is actually self-realization. And then you will realize that it is your own thoughts that is creating your reality and creating your personality. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So wealth and prosperity is the delight and pleasure of God. So my brother, my sisters, all joy, peace, and happiness belongs to you if you're willing to seek first that kingdom of God, which is the kingdom of your higher self, that kingdom that is within you. If you discover that kingdom that is within, you've been given a promise, and that promise is that all these things will be added unto you, which means the key will be given to you of how to come into abundance and prosperity. And when I speak of abundance and prosperity, I'm not just speaking on the material level. I'm speaking from every level, because you're a three-dimensional being in terms of your physical, your psychological, and your spiritual. So in every way, you would be abundant. In every way, you would be happy. In every way, you feel complete. So true riches and prosperity starts from within, and that can only come by you knowing who you are, because that is what will empower you to live by faith. So my brother, my sisters, know thyself, know who you are. And when you know who you are and you realize that your real identity is your divinity, then you'll use your inner power or your sense of consciousness to create your reality consciously. So that is the whole story between Abdullah and Neville Goddard, and what Abdullah would have taught Neville Goddard, and why today we have the lectures of Neville Goddard. It is because one took the pleasure in teaching someone else how to find God. Someone actually rejoiced in the prosperity of another by putting him in a place of affluence and using his imagination on behalf of another. So let me say, my brother, my sister, let us all bring our energy together so that we can use it on behalf of another and have pleasure and joy and peace in seeing the prosperity of God's people, because all those people who accept their higher self and accept their God self and look for the kingdom that is within and believe that God and man are one, those are the people who are actually the children of God, because they are acting and doing the work of God. It doesn't mean that the others who are not doing these things that they are not. They are also. But remember, some of us would be awake while others would be asleep. Always remember the law of polarity. Remember, there is darkness and there is light, but it is the same one power. Remember also that we use one power, but it's how we use the power, and that we all have been given a choice. So it is God's delight, it is God's pleasure for you to prosper. But the choice is yours. You can choose prosperity or you can choose mediocrity. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I just want to thank you very much. And I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense and it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you'd like to have one-on-one with me and we can go deeper down the rabbit hole and show how much the Bible is a book of mind science, you can definitely reach out to me and we will definitely go deeper down the rabbit hole. Also, you get to understand why I omit Jesus out of the Bible, and I leave a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am. And why you need to get the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible. That's 66 books of magic that you have in your library. You'll be having a library in your home. So if you haven't gotten it as yet, I definitely encourage you to get it. And also, concerning the one-on-one. If you feel strongly led to reach out to me for that one-on-one, you can reach out to me by way of email, and I give you the terms and the conditions. Also, I just want to mention my $20 course. It's called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. It's all about the inner sun that is within you, that you must discover so your light will so shine for the world to see, because you definitely tap into your creativity and the kingdom that would expose to you your precious ability that you can use to help to uplift the rest of humanity. Also, with that course, there's another course which is my self-concept course that is also available to you for that same $120. So if you feel strongly led to get those two courses for that one price, you can definitely do so. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram or you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Man Guru. And if you feel strongly led to support this work, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and that the link is always down below. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Out.